For years, rumors have swirled around General Motors and the future of the V8 engine. Some claimed the V8 was on life support. Others insisted GM was quietly preparing something big behind the scenes. As the 2027 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 approaches, the truth is finally coming into focus. And it's far more interesting than most people expected. GM is not abandoning the V8. In fact, it's doing the opposite. The company is investing heavily in a new generation V8 platform designed specifically to survive and thrive well into the late 2020s. The upcoming Silverado 1500 will be the first real proof of that strategy. This isn't nostalgia. This is a calculated engineering-driven move shaped by customer demand, regulatory realities, and fierce competition from Ford and Ram. Why GM is doubling down on V8 power? Despite the industry's push toward electrification, full-size truck buyers have remained remarkably consistent in what they want: torque, durability, sound, and long-term reliability. According to multiple GM engineers and suppliers, Silverado buyers still overwhelmingly associate V8 engines with trust and capability. An experienced GM powertrain engineer, speaking anonymously, summarized it simply: hybrid and turbo are great tools, but when customers are towing heavy loads, running long distances, or keeping a truck for 10 or 15 years, displacement still matters. GM's leadership has taken that message seriously. CEO Mary Barr has openly acknowledged that regulatory pressure nearly forced GM into abandoning some traditional powertrains earlier this decade. With those pressures easing slightly and customer loyalty clearly tied to V8 performance, GM now has room to recalibrate. The result is a new V8 architecture, not a minor refresh. This is not just another small block update. One of the biggest misconceptions online is that GM's 227 Silverado V8 will be a lightly revised version of the current 5.3L or 6.2L engines. Industry insiders say that's not accurate. While the new engine will retain small block DNA, it's reportedly built on an all-new internal architecture designed for modular upgrades, future electrification pairing, and increased thermal efficiency. Key areas of focus include stronger bottom-end design for sustained high-load towing, revised cylinder head airflow for better torque at low RPM, improved oiling and cooling systems, advanced variable valve timing strategies, built-in compatibility with mild hybrid or E systems. A veteran automotive powertrain analyst explained, GM learned a lot from the LT series engines. The next step is designing a V8 that can scale naturally aspirated today, electrified tomorrow, without losing its character. That scalability is critical for the Silverado 1500's future. Expected power: more torque, smarter delivery. While GM hasn't released official numbers, internal targets reportedly prioritize usable torque over headline horsepower. This aligns with Silverado buyers who tow, haul, and drive daily, not just race light to light. Experts expect output improvements to be modest on paper, but meaningful in real-world driving. Stronger low-end and mid-range torque, smoother power delivery under load, improved throttle response, better efficiency during steady cruising. GM is reportedly tuning the engine to outperform rivals where trucks actually work. A former GM truck program manager noted, "You don't win truck buyers by peak dyno numbers. You win them when the truck feels effortless pulling 8,000 pounds uphill." Sound, feel, and the emotional factor. One area GM understands extremely well is emotional engagement. Silverado owners don't just want power, they want the sound and feel that define a V8 truck. Engineers are reportedly paying close attention to exhaust tone, refinement, vibration control without muting character, throttle mapping that feels mechanical, not artificial. This is especially important as turbocharged V6 engines dominate competitors' lineups. GM sees the V8 sound and response as a clear differentiator. An industry NVH specialist explained, "You can engineer efficiency into anything, but the V8's firing order and resonance give it an authenticity." Customers immediately recognize how it fits into GM's bigger truck strategy. The new V8 isn't just about the Silverado 1500. It's about future-proofing GM's entire truck portfolio. Sources suggest the engine is being designed to serve as a base for performance variants, support off-road-focused trims, adapt for future emission standards, remain viable into the early 2030s. This aligns with GM's broader strategy of offering multiple powertrain paths instead of forcing a single solution. EVs, hybrids, turbo engines, and V8s will coexist, each targeting a specific buyer. Competition is forcing GM's hand. Ford and Ram are not standing still. Ford's Predator V8 and the Raptor R and Ram's rumored big displacement performance engines have reignited the horsepower wars. GM cannot afford to let Silverado lose its identity. A senior automotive market analyst put it bluntly. If GM abandoned the V8 now, it would hand Ford and Ram a branding victory they'd never give back. The 2027 Silverado V8 is GM's answer not just to competitors, but to loyal customers who've stuck with Chevy for decades. Will this lead to a performance Silverado? While GM hasn't confirmed a modern Silverado SS or equivalent, insiders say the new V8 platform absolutely makes it possible. The architecture reportedly supports higher compression variants, performance cam profiles, forced induction adaptations, track-oriented cooling upgrades that opens the door for future special editions without redesigning the engine from scratch. What this means for Silverado buyers, the message is clear. GM is listening. The 2027 Silverado 1500's new V8 engine represents a commitment to long-term ownership confidence, real-world capability, mechanical authenticity, and choice, not forced electrification. It also signals that GM believes the V8 still has a future when engineered intelligently. Final verdict. The V8 isn't dead, it's evolving. The truth behind GM's new V8 engine for the 2027 Silverado 150150 is not hype, secrecy, or nostalgia. It's strategy. GM isn't fighting the future. It's shaping it on its own terms by re-engineering the V8 for modern demands while preserving what truck buyers love most. GM is betting that there's still no replacement for displacement when it's done right. And if early insider confidence is accurate, the 2027 Silverado 1500 may become one of the most important V8 trucks GM has built in decades. Beyond the engineering upgrades and competitive positioning, the broader significance of this new V8 program lies in timing. The late 2020s represent a transitional era for the truck market. Electrification is growing, emissions regulations remain unpredictable, and consumer expectations are evolving rapidly. By committing to an advanced V8 architecture, now GM is effectively buying flexibility. The company can continue refining internal combustion performance while gradually integrating electrified assistance where it makes sense rather than forcing a rapid and potentially risky shift. Another critical dimension is cost of ownership. Full-size truck buyers often calculate value over a decade or more. A modernized V8, designed for durability, serviceability, and parts commonality, can reduce long-term maintenance uncertainty. If GM engineers have truly prioritized cooling efficiency, bottom-end strength, and oiling improvements, the real-world payoff may show up not just in towing confidence, but in lower wear under sustained heavy use. For fleet buyers and contractors, that matters as much as peak torque figures. There is also the dealership and aftermarket ecosystem to consider. The small-block Chevy platform has one of the largest performance and service networks in North America. By evolving rather than replacing the V8 architecture, GM preserves compatibility pathways for tuners, parts suppliers, and service technicians.